Hi folks, let's make a snowflake. This one, we're going to use the 4.5-inch blank, the medium size. So let's turn down and I show you what I have planned. So here is our snowflake blank. And then I've got all these wonderful little candies from out of my Thunderhorse Descendant Christmas Bundle. Also the crystals and the crystal spacers. We also have this little teardrop. He's going to be a dangle at the bottom. And we also have some silver spacers and some tiny little crystals. These crystals are what is going to protect the bottom, or so they'll go in the bottom and they won't biff into each other too much. So those are going to go there. And then we're going to have, actually I'm going to get a different type of spacer. These are a little bigger than I want, but we've got another size that will work really good in there. And so here's our other size. Those are going to go beside our crystals down there. So we only need a few. So we'll put on the crystal, or the spacer I should say. Now we've got to grab one of these candies, one of these slightly bigger spacers. Then we're going to go with one of these crystals, crystal spacer, crystal, and a second candy. And that is what our branches are going to look like. Now we have to twist these up. Now because I don't want a very big twist, I'm going to use my round nose pliers. And we're going to grab the end. And we're going to just twist these little corners up as best we can. Now this one didn't quite come the way I wanted it to, so we're going to have to work it a little bit, but I'll get it. There we go. So there is one branch done. And then we're going to just continue to do that with the other branches, but we're going to make sure our branches are different colored. So again, we'll want a little crystal, a little spacer, and then one of the candies. And oh, I just dumped them right back off again. Swift move, huh? So we'll put those back on. Now that is one thing when working with the snowflakes you got to be careful of, because they will just fall, things will just fall right off if you flip it just a little bit. So now we want to grab another candy. These look like they're going to fit just perfectly right there with each other. Oops, I forgot some things. That's why it's so much bigger. There's branch number 2. Now you've got to recall that you've got to have enough room for your twist on the ends, or you could put something maybe even a little bigger in there. But because we do have the twist, we want to be careful about how we're putting these in here. This one actually needs to be turned some because it's turned to the back. These are easier said than done to turn them and twist them around, because these, I believe these snowflakes are made out of memory wire. And they will tell you so. So I'm going to tip the corners up like so. So now we just go around the snowflake and do the same thing. Now, a couple of these have multiple of the same color, so you want to be careful when you're going around that you don't have them side by side or really, really close. As you can see, I have a second yellow, a second green, a second of these dark pinks, and a second purple. So I forgot the spacer right here. And unfortunately, I forgot it here too. So since they don't have it in either one of these, we'll keep that pattern going and not have it in there. Since, as I say, it's on two of the three branches. Two branches I finished, and this is the third one. The spacer is here, and it's right there, but it's missing. It's not in here, in the pink or the yellow here. So we will just not use it in any of them. Let's see, pink, blue, yellow. Oh, this is the light orange rather than the dark orange. So now we're at this point where we want to twist this up. Now, I've been taking and bending it afterwards. You could do it before if you wanted to, just like I just did. And then you want to roll this guy around. Trays. I have some trays sitting beside me and they want to fall out down. Okay, now this one is not quite in the right spot, so we'll see if we can get it around some. There we go. Now on to the fourth. So of course we're at our tiny crystal and our little spacer. Now these are the only two that do not have an identical one over on the other side here. So we can either put these, actually I'm thinking I want to go with maybe this yellow down here. Now we have to start paying attention to other things because we're going to have, you know, the doubles in here coming into here. I think we'll put the light orange one with this yellow one. Now it's time to twist this one. So we'll bend this slightly, then we'll twist this up. Okay. Next, I think it's turning out cute. Hope you agree. Okay, there's the tiny crystal for down at the bottom and the tiny spacer. Now let's see, what colors do we have? I think we're going to go with the purple one down here at the bottom. And on this one over here, we'll put this pink one at the bottom because that will have different bottom pieces all the way around. But we'll worry about that when we get there. Now we did decide on the light pink one for the top here, I think. Then we'll put this dark one here and the green on top right here. Maybe we'll change and have the light pink one down at the bottom and this darker one here. Even though that puts two dark ones at the top. I think that is how we're going to do it. So bend this over slightly. Take our round nose pliers and do a loop here. Okay, and now the very last one here. So we need to find the little tiny crystal, one of these little guys, and we've decided we're going to put this light pink on the bottom. Not you. Isn't that cute? So we will do our loop. Stop snapping off. And there is the basic part of our snowflake done. Now, I say basic because we're going to add two more things. Oops, I mixed those spacers up. Now I'm going to have to separate them because we don't want them mixed because one's a different size than the other. There we go. Anyway, so what we're going to do is decide which loops on both sides are about even and looking nice. And one of these is going to have our hanger hanging from where we have put our hanger on. And the other is going to have a little pretty teardrop. So I'm thinking these two look pretty good for my ends. Though this looks like it needs to maybe turn just a touch more. Come on, you. I want this to circle a little better so that I don't have to worry about my my crystal falling out there. There we go. So we're going to get a ball head pin, and I've got some relatively small silver ones here, and hopefully it won't fall through the bead. If it does, we got our tiny spacers right there. So there's our ball head pin. And we'll just make sure it's good and straight. Put the bead on here. Looks like she's going to be fine. So now we're going to wind it up and hook it right here at the bottom. So we will do its 90-degree turn it's, you know, I'm going to put one of these little spacers on here just to protect my crystal here. Slide down and around. There we go. Up and around and over. Bring her down and around. Leave a gap because I'm going to hook it directly on to my snowflake. So we'll just roll it through here. There she is. Now I will hold my drop. Push this up just a hair's breadth. Get my other pliers out. Now, because I went and added that spacer after I had already bent it, we're not going to have a lot of wrapping space. That's all right. We only need like 2 or 3 wraps. Okay, now there's our little drop hanging from our snowflake, and the only thing left to do is make its hanger. Now this is 20 gauge wire, and you only need a little bit because it's only going to be a hanger. So let's see how much I cut. I got about 3 inches, and that's about right. So I'm going to take my littlest bail maker, and I'm going to just make a loop on one side. Now that is just a decorative loop. So then I'm going to take my wire mandrel, and I'm going to wrap my loop, wrap my wire around the loop, like so. And then we're also going to take our flat nose pliers and give this a little bend right here. Now the last thing we're going to do, actually I put the decorative loop on the other side. We're going to, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't need to be a really big loop. Put another little loop on this side. That is our decorative loop. Now this is the hooking on loop. So all we have to do is open this little loop over here on this side and slide it through our ring at the top. And there is our candy snowflake, all finished. Isn't that adorable? So there we go. One candy snowflake. Isn't that cute? I think it turned out just adorable. I hope you like it. I do. I think it's just adorable. So there we go. And all of the beads except for this little guy here, the teardrop, and the little tiny beads and the spacers are from my Thunderhorse Descendant Christmas Bundle. Now, last time I checked with Randy, she had 1 bundle left. They're $120, but oh, they have some fun and cute things in them. This is, like I say, mostly from that box. And I really think these candies are really cute. And they would match any Christmas decor, I think, because there's all colors in there. But aren't those pretty? This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I hope you enjoyed making this candy snowflake with me. Bye-bye.